pushed it out of the way. So pulsatile versus laminar, this has been back and forth because we have so many conflicting studies on this. Why? Because we're not introducing axial stream into the variable, and I'll talk about that later. In my opinion, pulsatile for CVCs, laminar for PIVs. And we'll go into why, and I'll give you the fluid dynamics behind my thesis on this. Why pulsatile flushing? We do pulsatile flushing because what happens if you hard push a CVC or a PICC line? Yes. Yes. What does it do to the catheter negatively? But who cares? Turbulence, yes. That, yeah. I love it. The only one that read. So it causes the catheter to flip. And now it's not in the SVC. Now it's not in the cavoatrial. Now it's not in your veins. So we don't want to, or you will rupture the catheter. There's actually a big recall of a major manufacturing catheter company with many instances of catheter rupture. Okay, so we cannot push with too much force. So what do we do instead? We found turbulence. And how do you create turbulence? You create pulsatile flush. So push, pause, push, pause. Did you guys ever learn that technique? The push, pause technique? What is that? That's creating chaotic flow, and the chaotic flow increases abrasion, friction, shear force. So we're using fluid dynamics instead of pressure to push out the clots. Okay, so here's why we don't want to push too hard. This is a PICC catheter, 4 French, by the way. Okay, so I didn't blow it up, but I did move it significantly, and that's what's happening in our bodies. So then why laminar flush? Laminar flush because turbulence, like you said, we want to avoid the turbulence at the veins. Now, in my opinion, in the CVCs, the flow rate and the diameter of that cavoatrial and the flow rate of the blood mitigates that shear force anyways. But for PIVs, I don't care if you call it a 14 2-gauge catheter, it's still small compared to the SVC. And we're still going to cause that shear force and friction. Did you guys see that cement? What happened with that cement? That's what we're doing inside of the veins. So the con is you need more volume to make up for that lack of pressure. Okay? So the injury, angle of attack, all matters, especially when we're flushing. So what's the math? If you're planning on going to CRNA school, you have to know this.